fighter, it's up to me to deliver, and that's why I'm saying it has to happen.
There's a lot of hurdles to overcome, but if he's serious about the fight and if it can get made, there's a very good chance we'll do it.
And we are talking now about the future. Let's see.
Are you really talking about a fight between him and Anthony Joshua?
Why not?
The thing is, we can never know until you keep on challenging.
Anthony Joshua accepts Jake Paul's fight offer before Tyson Fury fight, and he's zeroed in on the task ahead. "I'm just focused on fighting him, now that's it," he says. Anthony Joshua isn't worried about comparisons. He's sharpening every skill to dominate Jake Paul with precision and authority.
I'm just focused on fighting him now. That's it. That's what I'm focused on. No, that's what I'm saying.
Dave Allen is brutally honest about Jake Paul's chances. He says Anthony Joshua cannot be threatened, highlighting Jake Paul's lack of endurance and skill. If Jake Paul even lands a glove, it won't matter. Anthony Joshua's experience and power completely overshadow him, making it almost laughable.
Jake Paul lost to Tommy Fury. Anthony Joshua cannot box Jake Paul. Horrific. He's dangerous for one, and two, if Jake Paul even lands a glove on him, it just diminishes everything that he's achieved. Jake Paul won't last 2 minutes for me. Never mind Anthony Joshua, it's ridiculous.
Tyson Fury believes Jake Paul could surprise, claiming Anthony Joshua is a spent force. He admires Jake Paul's rise and heavyweight look, but this overlooks Anthony Joshua's immense experience and power. Fans know that in a real ring, Joshua's precision and championship pedigree will dominate.
I don't know about tune up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look.
Derek Chisora warns Jake Paul will be dangerous if Anthony Joshua underestimates him. He emphasizes Joshua must assert dominance early, showcasing his knockout power. It's a stark reminder that Anthony Joshua's strategy and experience are decisive factors, and any lapse could be costly.
But I will say this to AJ, don't let that guy knock you out, because that will be fucking nightmares forever. But one or two, put it this way.
Joe Rogan highlights the financial imbalance in this fight and the risk versus reward. Anthony Joshua's dominance and status make him the clear favorite. Jake Paul might gain publicity, but Anthony Joshua controls the narrative and the ring, and victory would be emphatic and career-defining.
They're talking right now about doing Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul.
I know, I saw that.
Jake Paul apparently wants that fight. And he agreed to, I think it was 99% to 1, where Joshua gets 99% of the money and he gets 1%.
Jake Paul probably doesn't care about the money.
Well,
but
he has plenty of money, and if he won, oh my God, if he beat Anthony Joshua.
Jake Paul embraces the challenge against Anthony Joshua, but his bravado cannot match the skill and experience of a world champion. Despite his confidence, the reality is that Anthony Joshua's power, technique, and composure in high-pressure fights make him overwhelmingly favorite in this matchup.
He's like that, but I said to Jake Paul, you ain't in a box, mate, and this ain't David Blaine. I said, so just be careful, because AJ will take your head clean off your shoulders, and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And you take on that responsibility, and we all have to. So we got to think about that. But this is Anthony fighting a top 50 cruiserweight in the world. It's not something that we would normally do.
Jake Paul embraces the challenge against Anthony Joshua, but his bravado cannot match the skill and experience of a world champion. Despite his confidence, the reality is that Anthony Joshua's power, technique, and composure in high-pressure fights make him overwhelmingly favorite in this matchup.
And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen.
Tony Bellew doubts Jake Paul will ever survive in a ring with Anthony Joshua. He emphasizes that Anthony Joshua controls every aspect of the fight and will dictate the pace. If this bout happens, Joshua's superior skill and power will ensure Jake Paul cannot last beyond the rounds Joshua decides. The reality is that Joshua's experience and elite boxing IQ make him an unstoppable force in this matchup, and fans should expect a masterclass from Anthony Joshua that will expose any overconfidence from Jake Paul.
in the ring.
Josh and Jake.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't believe a single thing until I see him in the ring. I don't believe any. Even if they come together for a press, I don't believe it. I don't genuinely believe he will climb into a boxing ring with 10-ounce gloves on with Anthony Joshua. It won't happen. It can't.
Hypothetically, if it does, how long does it last?
As long as Josh wants it to.
Duke McKenzie points out the huge financial incentive for Anthony Joshua, calling it the easiest fight of his career. While Jake Paul may gain attention, Anthony Joshua's dominance is unquestionable. One punch from Joshua could end the fight, reminding everyone that this is a world-class champion facing an unproven opponent, and the risk for Jake Paul is catastrophic. Joshua's precision and raw power make it almost certain he will control the ring, and this fight will reinforce why he is one of the most feared heavyweights in boxing today.
It'll be the easiest fight of his career. If he wants to get 100 million and not even break sweat, you know, you take the fight. Is it going to enhance his stock as the world's #1 contender? Not at all, because nobody's going to take Jake Paul seriously. But on the other hand, should I don't even want to play devil's advocate. What if Joshua hurts this guy, seriously hurts this guy, and puts this guy...
Logan Paul highlights Anthony Joshua's devastating knockout power, reminding everyone of the Francis Ngannou fight. He suggests that Jake Paul's boxing experience is minimal compared to Joshua's elite skill set. This mismatch could end quickly if Joshua lands clean shots, and fans should expect a technical and dominant display that will erase any doubt about Joshua's supremacy in the heavyweight division.
The Joshua thing is crazy.
Is that a real conversation?
Jake's a fucking lunatic, and it's probably real. I saw Joshua knock out Francis Ngannou, and the guy was like out cold for 5 minutes. And this is a guy who had never been knocked down, let alone knocked out.
If he steps in the ring with him, and actually a bell rings and there are punches thrown, every bit of Jake Paul is not a real boxer conversation is gone forever.
Tony Bellew calls this fight a gross mismatch and warns about the serious danger for Jake Paul. He stresses that Anthony Joshua's experience and power make this a high-risk bout for an unproven opponent. Jake Paul may be motivated by money, but his health and career are on the line. Anthony Joshua is a seasoned world champion who controls the ring and every fight scenario, making him almost unbeatable against a fighter of Paul's caliber. Fans should expect Anthony Joshua to dominate with ruthless efficiency and expose the limits of Jake Paul in every exchange.
It's just a gross mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand his health is in jeopardy. So I'm not even entertaining it. I just think it's dangerous. And listen, I might have to work it, but it's just...
It's kind of ludicrous, isn't it, really?
It's insane. This boy is nuts. He's nuts, and I think he's putting his life before he's putting his life.
Tommy Fury underscores the sheer dominance Anthony Joshua would have over Jake Paul. Even handicap, Joshua's power and skill make him unstoppable. This commentary highlights the enormous gap between a seasoned world champion and an inexperienced opponent. Fans should expect a display of absolute control and precision, with Anthony Joshua proving why he is a heavyweight legend capable of dismantling any fighter in his path in under a minute if necessary.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past.
Johnny Nelson acknowledges the financial lure of Jake Paul for Anthony Joshua, but questions the legitimacy of the fight from a sporting perspective. While money is tempting, this is not about competition, it's about spectacle. Anthony Joshua's skill, power, and experience vastly overshadow Jake Paul's abilities. The public may admire Paul's hustle, but in the ring, Joshua is on another level. This is a calculated risk for Joshua and a serious threat to Paul, and fans should expect the heavyweight champion to dominate with precision, strategy, and force that only a world-class boxer like Anthony Joshua can deliver.
If I was AJ at this stage of his career, I'd take Jake Paul. I'd take Jake Paul because there's more money there. If it was real, I don't think it's real. I think it's bullshit. I think Jake Paul Yeah, I think it's bullshit. I think it's Jake Paul.
Derek Chisora points out that Jake Paul lacks the power to threaten Anthony Joshua. This fight is a mismatch of experience and skill. Fans should expect Joshua to dominate with brutal precision and enforce his authority in the ring. Paul may create drama outside, but inside, Joshua's power and tactical superiority will prevail. The possibility of an ambulance for Jake Paul is real if he underestimates Joshua's ferocity. Anthony Joshua is a professional with world championship experience, and any hope of a Paul upset is extremely unrealistic. This fight will solidify Joshua's dominance and expose the limits of celebrity boxing.
Whatever happens will be exciting.
Does he have the power to knock out Joshua?
Nah, he hasn't got the power to knock out Joshua.
How does that fight end?
Jake Paul going to an ambulance, bro.
Spencer Oliver explains that Anthony Joshua is treating this as a strategic money grab rather than a genuine sporting challenge. Joshua views the fight as an easy win that maintains his form while earning big. Fans may question the choice, but Joshua's team sees it as smart career management. Jake Paul may generate hype, but inside the ring, Joshua's technical skills, experience, and raw power make him untouchable. This fight is about financial gain with minimal risk for Anthony Joshua. Any hope for Paul to compete effectively is unrealistic, and Joshua will control the pace, timing, and result with precision.
Well, Anthony Joshua is talking about wanting warm-up fights before going into bigger fights, but look, it's prize fighting at the end of the day, and the way that Joshua was here and Matchroom and all the team, the fans won't like this, by the way. But
I don't like it
no,
either.
I don't like it either. But the way
like
that Joshua is here is as a money grab. He'll see it as an easy money grab, but at this stage of his career, is it a fight he should be taking?
Showbiz, the adult, highlights how inexperienced Jake Paul is and questions why Anthony Joshua would even consider him a serious threat. Joshua has faced and defeated world-class opponents, and his preparation, skill, and power completely overshadow Paul's limited experience. This fight is more about show than sport. Anthony Joshua's dominance is expected, and Paul's lack of amateur and professional background makes him an easy target. Fans should anticipate a display of superior technique, strength, and strategy that reinforces Joshua's status as a top heavyweight with unmatched authority over anyone stepping into the ring with him, especially Jake Paul.
Joshua, and why would Anthony AJ Joshua take this fight in Jake Paul? Here's the thing, that shouldn't confuse you either. It ain't like Anthony AJ Joshua has never done this before. Taking on Jake Paul, who has had no heavyweight experience, no amateur background, has only fought a handful of professional boxers, one in which Tommy Fury defeated him.
The Wade concept confirms that Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul is officially happening, setting the stage for a blockbuster event in Miami. Anthony Joshua brings world-class skill, power, and championship experience, while Jake Paul's abilities remain untested against a real heavyweight. Fans should expect Joshua to dominate every round with superior technique, timing, and precision. This fight is a showcase for Joshua's talent and a stark reminder that celebrity status cannot match true boxing mastery. Jake Paul will be tested like never before, and Anthony Joshua's dominance will likely be evident from the opening bell to the final round.
Mike Coppinger, Anthony Joshua, and Jake Paul are finalizing a deal for a heavyweight fight on Netflix in December in Miami, sources tell The Ring's Mike Coppinger. Paul steps up to fight former heavyweight champion after his exhibition with Gervonta Davis was.
The Wade concept confirms that Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul is officially happening, setting the stage for a blockbuster event in Miami. Anthony Joshua brings world-class skill, power, and championship experience, while Jake Paul's abilities remain untested against a real heavyweight. Fans should expect Joshua to dominate every round with superior technique, timing, and precision. This fight is a showcase for Joshua's talent and a stark reminder that celebrity status cannot match true boxing mastery. Jake Paul will be tested like never before, and Anthony Joshua's dominance will likely be evident from the opening bell to the final round.